He was a multiple time Muay Thai world champion. He fought a lot in Thailand. He was undefeated national champ in Mexico for a long time. So he has a lot of knowledge.
The AllStar app, the number one app in the business. UFC, Bellator, One Championship, PFL, and more. Get the app right now. Link in description. All right, Brian. It's fight week, man. How you feeling?
Feeling great. Very happy and excited to be here talking with you and all these other interviews.
When you go through this process, right? A fight week where you have to, of course, you have to go through the weight cut, and but then you have to go through all these interviews. And does it ever get old, or do you feel like it's just a part of the motions, and it just makes you get into the mindset of the fight?
Well, honestly, this is kind of new for me. I only have four professional fights, and since my last two fights, it's been like this. But especially on this one, because I'm headlining the event, and the main event. It's been a little bit different. Never had to do this many interviews on wake up day, but it's uh it's been helping a lot. Time is it's been going by faster, so I guess it's just gonna be like this from now on, and I need to get used to it, which I don't really mind.
For sure, man. And you said it main event slot, so it's better, I think, when they're picking and choosing which fighters that they want to put in the season, right? Because the performance you have is the freshest one in their minds.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, it's just part of the process, and I'm happy to be here headlining a PFL event. That's really nice.
Yeah, for sure. And David Evans, man, what are your thoughts on him and his fighting style?
Well, I don't really know much about him. I know he had an extended amateur career. He had a few fights, almost 20. He's now 5-0 as a professional. I know we watch a little bit of film. He likes to come forward, throwing hands, setting up his takedowns, and that's nothing new for me. I train at Extreme Couture. I train with some of the best fighters in the world. I get to see every single style every day, so I know I won't be surprised. I won't. He's nothing like very very special. I feel like I seen every single style, like I said at the gym. Just very excited. I think it's a good matchup for me. I'm well rounded. If he wants to take me to the ground, he better watch his neck, his arms, and if he wants to keep it standing, he better watch his calves and everything. It's gonna rain from everywhere.
I look at this matchup and I kind of think about your last fight on the Challenger Series against Scotty Stockton. He's kind of like that style. Do you see any similarities in him?
Yeah, a little bit, but honestly, I feel like Scotty Stockman has a superior skill set. He was a few times Golden Gloves. I feel like he has a lot more power. He's bigger physically. His wrestling credentials are better than David. So yeah, it's kind of the same style, but I think Scotty Stockman is a little bit more rounded. But I can expect. I see what you saying. The boxing, the hands coming forward, setting the takedowns, and that's what we're prepared for that.
Last year, that was the first fight. You had another fight during the playoffs. 30 minutes of cage time. What did you learn the most from those performances?
I learned a lot. Being in those big platforms, fighting for one of the biggest organizations in the world, gave me a lot of experience. Being exposed on ESPN and Football TV. And I just learned a lot about myself. I know I'm able to push hard for 15 rounds. I mean, 15 minutes. So I was able to see that in myself. And going into this fight, I'm pretty confident that I can fight from beginning to end. And so that showed me that I shouldn't hold anything because those were two hard fights. So that's one of the biggest takeouts from those fights, that I can dig deep and being under the big lights is not gonna be something new.
How was it fighting in Madison Square Garden in New York City?
Oh, it was a crazy experience. If you told me years, maybe 2, 3 years ago, that at this point, this early in my pro career, I was gonna be fighting at the Madison Square Garden, I would have laughed maybe, and be like, I know I'm gonna get there, but not that soon. But overall, it was a great experience. Having my family flying from Las Vegas and Los Angeles, having all that people over there, and then doing having a really good performance. Everybody was happy, and it just showed me that everything that we're doing right now is just we're doing the right thing. If I already made it to that place this early, I cannot wait for what the future holds for me.
Your last fight was in August. It gives you a lot of time to just train and just focus on things. Did you decide to, let's say, train and focus on one particular aspect of your game more than others?
Not really. Um, uh, I'm a gym rat. I'm always in the gym. So after that fight, I wanted to get another fight. I was expecting to fight in the finals, so I went right back into the gym. And like you said, I'm always trying to improve and get better. Keep adding tools to the toolbox. So since my last fight, I kept doing the same training. I do multiple times jiu-jitsu in Las Vegas with Hector Vasquez, and then I went down to Mexico to do some Muay Thai, a lot of kicking and knees and strikes with my uncle. And I'm always training at Extreme Couture in Las Vegas. So wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and Muay Thai. And I added yeah, as you mentioned, I added one particular training into my regiment, which I've been boxing now a lot more with. His name is Ismael Salas in Las Vegas, Salas Boxing. So you guys can expect me to be a little bit better with my hands, my boxing.
Tell me a little bit more about going to Mexico and training with your uncle, Muay Thai.
That's usually part of my training camps. Every time I'm gonna fight, I split my camps into weeks and phases. And in the middle of my camp, that's when I go do the hard training. A lot of running and a lot of Muay Thai rounds. He was a multiple time Muay Thai world champion. He fought a lot in Thailand. He was undefeated national champ in Mexico for a long time. So he has a lot of knowledge, and that's something, like I said, that's something I do every time in my camps. And this time I was out there with them for 3 weeks. We worked hard, and yeah, that's what we did in Puerto Vallarta.
So you got Mexico, you got Extreme Couture. That's a pretty decent combination, man. And Extreme Couture, like you said, you're a gym rat. You're always training. So when you don't have a fight, you could also help other fighters prepare for their fights. Is that what you were doing with your time off a little bit?
Yeah, all the time. um they know me at Extreme, and every single place that I go train, that I'm always striving to be better and improve my skill set. So I'm always trying to get the hardest rounds, and if someone has a fight in my weight class, I'm always willing to help. I've been doing a lot of sparring with big names like Dan Ige, Jeremy Kennedy, Mateus Camilo. He's up and comer. He just got a finish in Fury. He's very good fighter, and we're always helping each other. My very good friend and teammate Pato Martinez, he fought in October in Miami, so I helped him get ready for that fight. Right now, he's getting ready for a fight. I'm always in the gym helping, and I'm always training with Brandon Moreno too and his team. So I'm always jumping from one side to another, from one gym to another, just looking to get better.
So what type of performance, man, do you think you're gonna have? What are you expecting out of yourself in this one?
For this fight, honestly, I'm expecting the best performance of my life, so far. I've been working so hard. I'm more mature. I grew a lot from these last two fights. I've been training. I've been everything how it's supposed to be. I'm always around champions like Brandon Moreno. I see Francis Ngannou every day. I see Aljamain Sterling. So I'm always doing the right thing. So for this fight in particular, I expect myself to have the best performance so far. I'm very excited. I've been doing my diet, my strength and conditioning, everything is on point. So I expect fireworks this weekend.
Boxing is number one in Mexico. Most people know that, right? You know better than anyone. Um, but how close is MMA? In popularity, is it even close, or is there a chance?
Now it's very close. Now it's very close. This 2023, it's been great for us, for the Mexican market, for the Mexican mixed martial arts. We saw what Brandon did. He got his belt back and he made it look easy. It shows how much we have improved. Jair Rodriguez just beat Josh Emmett in an impressive way too. And now we have Alexa fighting this weekend too. That shows how much time and effort and all these things that we put into this. Now the UFC PI is going to Mexico. That shows that we have the potential, and mixed martial arts is growing a lot in Mexico and Latin America. And from a couple of years from now, I know we're gonna have a couple of champions in some of the biggest organizations. Me myself, I'm pretty confident that I will be a world champion in PFL. So it's just gonna keep getting better and better and growing and growing.
For sure, man. I don't doubt it at all. Hey, March 3rd, this weekend, PFL Challenger Series main event. Go in the descriptions, download the AllStar app. Brian, thank you, man, so much for the time, and all the best in the fight.
Thank you so much, man. Big shout out to all my teammates, friends, and family, coaches, and everybody in Las Vegas and in Mexico, in Puerto Vallarta, Bahía de Banderas, Carretaderas. Everybody, thank you so much for the love and support. Shout out to my mom.